the button now, and we are live.
Oh, wow.
Boom. Hey, Facebook, you didn't catch me out this time, did you? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Facebook watchers, love sales, hate selling people. We are joined today with the wonderful Dell James of LeadGender Selling Solutions.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Who specialises in helping corporate businesses generate high quality premium leads. Boom. Is that right, Dell?
That's almost right. That's almost right. I help SMEs. Get corporate clients.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Well, Dell, before we start, we've got to do a pose. We've got to do a Madonna pose. Let me just put my phone on airplane mode because it has a nasty habit of people ringing me at the last minute. We've got to do a pose. After 3, I want you to give me the best pose. For the we've got to do it. It's for the Facebook algorithm. Okay, so after 3, 1, 2, 3. The cheesiest of cheesy grins.
Oh, that's terrible. What was that? Was that a picture? Did you just take a picture?
No, I'll do that later on.
All right, okay, that was horrible.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. I'll tell you what, it looked good. Right then, Dell, I know you're a very, very busy lady. Let's get this party started. So Dell, I mean, I know I've stolen a little bit of your thunder there with the introduction, but could you tell the people watching what you do for a business, please?
Okay, so I do one of two things, or rather I do one thing in one of two ways. So if you are ready to dive into corporate sales and you've got all your stuff going and you've got your everything you need, then I can do it for you. So I offer a done for you service where you can outsource your sales to me. So I will do everything from helping you with the marketing side. So whether it's email marketing or if it's LinkedIn, I can help you with that. I'm not so good on Facebook, to be honest. So I leave that to those specialists. So I help you with LinkedIn. I help you with everything like that, all the way through to the sales. So contacting the customers and getting them for you. And you will need to turn up to the appointment. you have to do that bit. But I will then help you close it, and I will help you basically close that sale. So that's one service. That's one service for those who are ready, for that kind of thing. But what I find is that, sorry, I look as if I'm crying because
don't cry for me, Dell James.
Something's just got in my eye.
I have this effect on people sometimes.
Yeah. So where was I? Yeah. So that's it. That's my done for you service. But for people who maybe don't have quite the budget for that, but they just want to maybe have some help doing it themselves, then I train you how to do that. So So that's fantastic.
So you become you can become a powerful cog of someone's business.
Absolutely.
And when you say corporate sales, give us some examples of what corporate jobs. Corporate sales.
What's corporate? So for me, corporate means God, I really do look like I'm weeping, don't I? Because the corporate for me is companies like the banks, the big banks.
Right.
So like Lloyd Bank. So these are places where I actually have got sales either for myself or for other people. So Lloyd's Bank, Co-op. Insurance.
So your big blue chips, then basically.
Your big blue chips. Now, some people may not have a service for that, and maybe they just want bigger. Because what I find is when I meet with SMEs, I find that a lot of them are going to networking meetings, whatever it is, and they're meeting other small businesses. and which is fine. And if you've got a service which you know, that's your market, that's great. But often it isn't. And often that they go to these networking meetings, but they're not meeting their clients because the bigger companies are not necessarily going to these networking events.
Catch 22, isn't it? I mean, you are right there. It's very, very rare that you'll see, you know, a blue chip company in attendance. I mean, I've been to a few where there has been representatives from banks and large insurance firms. And I think as an SME, I think the thought of selling into that size of business, and I'm sure you've come across that, can be quite daunting, I imagine, for some SMEs.
Exactly.
So you kind of smooth the way for them.
Yes, exactly.
And make the process a lot more tangible. That's fantastic. I mean, that is a really, really good service, because I come across a lot of business owners who, to be fair, they'd rather have somebody do it all for them anyway. It's like, I would imagine there has to be a kind of a minimum order value to obviously get someone like yourself involved with the done for, because obviously the product's got to be viable. It's got to be, there's got to be quite a weight in terms of value attached. That's fantastic. So tell me, Dell, what inspired you to start this business?
Wow, where do I start?
It's not a trick question.
I know. It's probably, I think the thing with anything you do, often it's just just a small step on from the last thing you did. So the real inspiration might well have been years ago, and the real inspiration, I think, was years ago, and because I started life as a school teacher, actually.
Okay.
So I used to teach economics and business studies and social studies.
Wow! Where did you teach? What part of the country?
I taught in Mitcham, in the southeast.
Is that Surrey?
Sorry,
I was wondering why your accent was so posh. I know all about Surrey, girl.
I'm just saying, there's nothing posh about. Well, I better not say that, because that might offend people who live in that area.
I know, but if you want to go to Surrey, you've got to take your passport with you, because there's certain roads that you're not getting down unless you've got that. So you were a teacher. Wow.
I was a
and
teacher.
You've maintained your youthful complexion, no grey hair or anything. I mean.
Oh, I have. I think the lighting's a little bit dark that you can't see. Can't see.
Oh, bless. So you started off as a teacher, and how did that kind of transpire to where you are now?
So I basically decided that I needed to have commercial experience, because my subject was economics and business studies, and I wanted to, I was head of business studies, and I wanted the next stage on, which was to become a subject advisor, and that's what I wanted to do. Because it's kind of like two ways in teaching. You could go up and be sort of like headmistress, that sort of way up, or you could go up the subject route. And I wanted to go up the subject route and be like a subject advisor.
Like a specialist.
Yeah, that's right. I go from school to school to advise them how to teach economics and business studies. So I thought, well, it would really help my CV if I actually had some real working experience, live working experience. So I thought, oh, I'll have a commercial break, literally, from teaching. So I'll go into commerce and then come back out again. That was the idea.
It sounds like something went wrong there. That was the idea. Okay, tell us more.
So I had a sister in recruitment. So I did my CV up and I sent her I faxed over that tells you how long ago it was. Faxed her my CV.
Okay, that means you're not 20. That means you're not 25 then.
It means I'm not 25. It means I'm 26. and her boss intercepted this CV, and she said, and he liked the way that I had written it and what I said on it. And he said, "This girl should be in recruitment." And recruitment was all sales based, and I was in teaching, so I thought,
I know all about slavery. I mean recruitment. Oh yes, I've got some stories to tell you. But this is about you.
I'm interested in your stories. So she said, "Yeah, this girl should be in recruitment." And I said, "Do you think I could do that?" And she said, "Yeah, I think so." And so the next thing I know, I was in recruitment, and then I just thought, gosh, this is so easy. What, you mean I just have to talk to one person at a time, and I don't have to talk to a class of 30 screaming kids? Or what? And they might actually do what I say.
Fantastic. So were you in Was you in acquisition or was you in actually finding placement?
So at the time when I went into recruitment back in those days, you did everything.
Oh,
So
right.
so you found your client, you found your candidate, and you put the two together. And so if it's nothing else, recruitment is a sales job.
Well, the thing is, and I mean, when I did recruitment, I worked for a specialist.
Oh, you got recruitment? Oh, right, okay.
Which was slavery recruitment, same thing. But we specialised in specific bespoke industries, which meant that the value was a lot higher. My brother too worked in recruitment. He worked for what you call the high street, where it was a lot of churn, contracts, fill a factory with loads of workers and stuff, and get paid 50 pence per hour for each of them. We were putting people out and getting paid £5 per hour per man. And at some stages, they had something like 300 people out at any one time across the UK. So the operation was huge. So you went into recruitment.
Yes.
How did that get to now?
So I worked in recruitment. It was actually technical recruitment that I ended up in. So it was high. It was high value. And specialist. So I did that for a number of years, and then I remember I was actually at the filing cabinet. I really am showing you how it was.
Okay.
I was at the file, and I was one of the top. I was actually one of the top performers actually for the recruitment. So I was always one of the top three on the leaderboard.
They know how to motivate their staff.
Sorry, what did you say?
These companies know how to motivate their staff. Have a leaderboard.
That's right. The leaderboard, and I think my boss was afraid that I was going to leave the company, because that's what top foot people often did.
Pay me £1 million a year and I might stay.
And he sidled up to me one day and he says, "James, you'd be nothing without me." Because he used to call me James by my surname, because that's what James, you'd be nothing without me. And I looked at him and I thought, and that was a signal for me to leave.
I bet it bloody was. How rude. I mean, the thing about these jobs is, and job does stand for just over broke, by the way, is they pay you enough so you have to come back every month. And that kind of arrogance, almost suggests that you wouldn't be the top performer unless he'd helped you, which is like, go away. So did you kind of just leave there straight away, or?
No, I didn't leave straight away, but that was it. That was the moment, the moment in which I thought, no, I'm going to leave.
Yeah, it sounds like he was getting too fresh for me. So yeah, probably. You know what I mean, girl. If I get too fresh about, you know what I mean.
And I thought, I think it's because they couldn't work out how I was doing it. Because another thing he would come up and say to me was, "Not very rah-rah, are you?" I was like, "What's rah-rah?" When the recession came, the rah-rah people, but the people just couldn't hack it. And so for me, I was somewhere in between extrovert and introvert, really, and being more to the top side of introvert, to be honest.
You were adaptable.
I was adaptable. So I was in this middle space, and basically that meant really that I was a sort of person that sales to me was a system, So I just used to.
Can I just stop you there a minute? People watching, this lady she's saying is music to my ears. Sales is a system. Mwah! Oh, love it. Sorry, carry on.
That was it. So I remember asking when I was in the job, I was, the first interview I got without sending a CV. I was given a candidate. And I just rang up and said, see him, he's good. I interviewed him, he's good. And then I got, and then my boss said to me, "What, you've got an interview already?" I said, what didn't you send? You know, well, you wanted to look at the CV that I've done. CV? I said, what's the point of a CV? I thought that's what we did. You know, if it was a CV, he could send the CV directly to the company himself. Yeah.
Boom.
So I thought the whole point for me was to actually get on the phone and sell this person to the company.
Boom.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Fantastic. And I think you've nailed one thing there, in that sales is a people to people thing. Yes, the internet is here to have a conversation for you, but ultimately, at a certain level, you've got to speak to people.
Yeah, exactly. So so long story short, I basically asked him, you know, how many interviews do I need to get a week? And he told me, and the figure is, 10 is a good average. I thought, okay, fine. And I didn't have any misconceptions about, you know, how hard that would be. So that's what I focused on. I just focused on getting 10 interviews a week, and that's all I do. And I remember we used to have these little sheets, you know, one side you had all your interviews written, and on the back side you had all the calls you made and everything. And I used to have it with the interview side up. And one day the sales manager, you know, he turned over, looked at my call side, and that was just completely blank. Because I was just focused on getting the interviews.
Yeah. I think the problem with a tally chart, because I've done that before, is that you're focusing on some magic number as opposed to focusing on the core. And that's a great kind of tip that you've just given there. Yes, I suppose in the early days of sales, it's good to kind of keep track of, on average, how many calls we're making per hour. But once you focus on the target, this is what I need. The amount of calls, you could make 10 calls and get 10 sales, or you could make 10 calls and get no sales.
Absolutely. So for me, it was what's the figure that matters? What's the thing that matters? What will move the needle? It's the number of interviews. So I focused on that, and that's literally. And I would just get people to do it. In fact, they used to call me. My clients used to call me Teach. You know that. I was like, how do you know how to teach it? But I think it was the way in which I just said, look, see you. Yeah, you know, he's good. You know, I think it was that kind of thing. So basically, long story short, when he said that to me, that was my signal to, it's time to go and start my own thing up. So I started my own recruitment business up, and I focused on big data people by the time that came about. And those big data people needed to be in big companies, quite frankly. So it meant that I learned how to approach large companies,
corporates. Excellent.
Exactly.
And are you still doing that now? Have you still got the recruitment business?
I don't have the recruitment business now. You know, well, you know yourself that having a business is more than being good at sales.
Oh yeah.
So I was employing staff. You know, and I had all of literally, you know.
Headache, more headache.
The headache.
Yeah, and I suppose it takes away your love for the business when you're then no longer doing what you love doing, which is speaking to people.
Exactly.
So, so obviously this business you're running now, which has been born from your experience in recruitment and your experience in sales, and your experience of being able to get a foot in, open the door to corporate businesses through the approach that you take to do it. That's fantastic. What have been some of the challenges? In fact, so how long have you had this business? How long has this been running?
This particular version of my business has been going for 2 years.
Fantastic.
And
what challenges have you had with this business with LeadGender?
Well, I think the real challenge that everybody's had was it's been COVID. It's been COVID. In many ways, that shouldn't make a difference because it's COVID, if you like, was made for the online world, or the but just prior to COVID, I was, as I said, I was doing two things, so one way is to do it for them, and the other way was to train. So on the training side, I was doing that in physical classrooms,
of course.
So that was the challenge, really, was taking that all online.
Yeah.
And that was a major challenge for me. So although I was teaching LinkedIn, which is an online platform, I was teaching it in a physical way,
face to face.
I was literally going around to clients and stuff. So so that was the challenge. I had to. It took me, I think, 3 months to create this online program. So I had to learn, things like Facebook. I just had a profile on Facebook. I didn't do anything on it, So I had to learn about Facebook groups. I had to learn about what else? About the bot.
What's all this bot talk?
All this sort of stuff. It's yes, I did email marketing, but to have it all automated, and it really was, and it just sounds naff, me saying this, but it really was a different world.
Well, and I think you aren't alone. I think COVID has forced a lot of business owners to kind of reevaluate their business. Absolutely. Because one of the things that happened when COVID struck was that their lead generation stopped, or their way of getting leads stopped. So, for example, I know a lot of business owners used to go face-to-face networking. That was a good source of leads for them. That then stopped. A lot of business owners didn't have systems in place, didn't have ways of communicating with their customer base. And in some ways, and please don't throw eggs at me, anybody who's watching, this can be seen as a positive, purely from a perspective of it's forced people to think about what their business is going to be doing for the next 10 years, as opposed to, what's my business going to be doing next week? Where I've seen people move forward is when they've kind of taken this opportunity to impart learning, like you've done, put in new things in place, create some visible online assets. And I'm seeing a lot of people who had a better year towards the end of last year than they had in the year before, which is like, wow. So fair play to you, and it's nothing to feel bad about. The thing is, you are not going to know everything. I often say this in my group: I am not the font of knowledge. The font of knowledge is his name begins with a G, and it's not God. His name's Google. In fact, not his name, their name. Sorry. So the reality is, it's good to learn. The thing is, the more learning you do, the more enriched your life is anyway, because you're giving yourself more power. You're giving yourself more power to be able to help others. The things that you pick up yesterday, which you then share with someone tomorrow, means that person could probably move forward on their journey. So fantastic, really good. So your challenges were kind of getting all this technology on board and putting in a system to make it work for your business. And are you there now? I mean, is the online course ready, and can people jump on it and do their thing?
Well, I've got a free LinkedIn challenge, a 5-day LinkedIn challenge, which I've run a couple of times. And the next one isn't until next month now, but I've run that a couple of times. So the first time it was a little bit, So from that, I managed to get 2 people to sign up to my LinkedIn mastermind. So that's where I am now, and I'm at the moment writing the mastermind course.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
And that's the thing. It is constant development. I mean, I'm in the same situation myself, where I'm constantly creating additional assets, because those assets are going to help people going forward. So good stuff. So one advice, if somebody was crazy enough right now to want to start a business in 2021, I'm only joking, guys. What advice would you give somebody who, you said, right, I'm going to start a business. What are the three things that I need to consider or do?
One, just do it. Literally, just do it.
Love it. Action. Take some action. Love it.
Stop thinking about it. Just do it. Just do it.
Love that.
And I would say the key one thing you do: get the right mentors. Get the right mentors. If I didn't have somebody literally showing me the ropes of how to set up a challenge, how to do a sales page. You know, so when I say to people who are already in the industry of doing internet marketing, you know, it took me 3 months. They'll probably think, well, you know, what were you doing for 3 months? But literally, I'm setting up your lead page and getting the right graphics for it. Yeah. So somebody who knows what they're talking about, get them to actually mentor you, literally.
So action mentor.
Literally mentor. And the second thing in that is someone to hold you accountable.
Oh, very important.
Hold you accountable. Because I was little, oh no, you know, before COVID, I would never be on a call like this. Never would. Did not want to show my face. I would never have done a Facebook Live. I was a person on Zoom that had the camera off. You know, I just did. I didn't do Zoom. But so I got to the point in the, you know, as I say, you need the right mentors and have accountability, because I was just kind of I was doing the bits, and somebody just said to me, you know, my mentor said to me, or my accountability person said to me, just do it. Right, today create 6 videos, just do it.
I like your mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. Send me a message at the end of that to tell me you've done it.
I like your mentor, because I've got to be honest. I'm pretty similar with my my students who do the program, in that I ain't really got time for any excuses. I can be quite blunt. In fact, I'd say that 80% of them probably hate me now, because I'm more like a school teacher than well, I don't care. The thing is, you pay me to help you, and you have to move forward. I'm not sitting there waiting for you to...
They won't hate you, Nigel. They'll love you. They'll love you for that, because I love the guy for that. Because at the end of that day, I didn't have 6 videos. I had 3, but I had 3 videos, you know? And then the next day I had the other 3.
Honestly, action beats perfect action every single time.
Absolutely.
So, is there anything that the people watching can do for you to help you on your journey to world domination?
That's a good question. At some point, I'm going to need somebody with Facebook expertise. And at some point, I'm going to need somebody, kind of a virtual assistant type person as well, to help with, you know, when I get too close to world domination, you know, when you've got a live going on and you've got
things happening,
lots of
moving,
someone to help with that kind of stuff. So well,
what I'd say there, Dell, is I as soon as you said Facebook expertise, I could think of 4 people, and in terms of VA, I know probably the best. If Carlsberg did VAs, then the VA that I'm thinking of would be one of their VAs. Probably the best in the world. But hey,
okay.
So let me know when you're ready. Right, guys, we're gonna go. But if you've been watching on replay, please put #replay watched. If you do that, I will get you a special gift. So #replay watched. And obviously I know when it appears. I don't get put at the beginning of the video, I put it at the end of the video. So you got to watch it to the end of the video, and you will get a special gift from me, and maybe even Dell. Dell, could you go back onto the page when we finished and drop all of your links, all of them? the challenge landing page, if you've got one, where people can connect with you, where you hang out. All
so
of that.
I've got one link I'm going to drop, which is it's LeadGender.com/Nigel.
Right, and it's got all of your offers on there.
And it's got it all on there.
Boom, organised. I love it. I tell you what, you know your stuff, girl. Right, people watching, thank you so much. Let me just check one more thing. Did we have many comments? We had hi Trisha Pratt. How you doing, honey? Trisha says, I'm the person who likes people to show me things to get it done. Excellent. Hey Trisha, we need to catch up. We haven't spoken for so long. So I'm gonna give you a call later on today or this week. People, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Dell, thank you for joining me. It's been absolutely fantastic. A wealth of information. Don't go anywhere. We'll have a quick debrief. People, Farewell for now. We'll see you again. And thank you for joining us at Love Sales, Hate Selling, the Facebook Business Owner interview. Bye for now.